fears the person who doesn't want what everyone else is chasing, the person who doesn't need to prove anything, the one who walks through the world, the one who isn't chasing money, who isn't consumed by fear, who lives on their own terms. Fromm and Thoreau didn't just point out the problem, they modeled a way out. And no, it doesn't require escaping to the woods or rejecting all comforts. It starts with something far more subtle and far more powerful. You start by simplifying, not just your home, but your mind. Begin to strip away the noise, the clutter, the compulsions. Look at your spending, not as a financial strategy, but as a spiritual audit. What are you buying that you don't need? What desires have been planted in you by advertising, not by your own soul? Then go deeper. Define your non-negotiables. What values are worth more to you than any paycheck? Maybe it's honesty, or time with your family, or your health, or your creativity. Whatever it is, name it, write it down, and make it sacred. Because when you know what can't be bought, you stop selling pieces of yourself for comfort or praise. Next, invest where it counts. Not in stocks or brands, but in your being. Learn something that inspires you. Read slowly. Think deeply. Make things with your hands. Spend time alone, not to escape people, but to find yourself again. Because the truth is, you can't live freely if you don't know who you are. Becoming is not a side project, it's the main mission. And slowly, intentionally, reduce your dependence on money. That doesn't mean becoming reckless or irresponsible. It means becoming resourceful. Learn to need less. Learn to build your life not around your income, but around your priorities. That shift, small at first, starts to change everything. You begin to trust yourself more than the market. You begin to live with money, not for it. This isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily practice, a slow but steady rebellion, a choice to be ruled by purpose, not price. And every time you act from that place, you become a little more whole, a little more awake, and yes, a little more dangerous to a system that wants you asleep. In the end, the man who doesn't chase money is not poor. He's powerful. He's not lacking drive. He's chosen a different direction. He's not behind. He's just walking a road that most people are too afraid to take. He lives by his own compass. He works for meaning, not just for wages. He values time more than titles, depth more than display. And because of that, he can't be bribed with status, bought with comfort, or silenced by fear. He doesn't need the system's approval because he's found his own. Yes, people will misunderstand him. He'll be called unambitious, unrealistic, even dangerous. And in a way, he is dangerous. Dangerous to a culture that runs on insecurity. Dangerous to a world that profits from your discontent. Dangerous to anyone who needs you to stay small, scared, and obedient. But make no mistake, this is not a story of rejection. It's a story of reclamation, of taking back your soul from a marketplace that tried to sell it, of remembering that freedom was never meant to be earned through exhaustion or debt. It was meant to be lived honestly, simply, and fully. Because the world doesn't need more millionaires with no peace. It doesn't need more influencers chasing applause. It doesn't need more productivity. It needs more presence. What the world needs now more than ever is men and women who are complete without consumption, who don't just survive the system, but transcend it. So ask yourself, what part of your life has a price tag, and what part never should have? And more importantly, who could you become if money no longer owned your choices? That's the question that changes everything. And in a world where almost everyone is for sale, the man who isn't becomes the rarest and most necessary kind of human being. Free.
2 days in a row of big gains on Wall Street thanks to easing tensions in the Middle East and no squeeze on oil coming out of that region. Investors took a step back today. The Dow lost 107, that's 0.25%. The Nasdaq up by 61, the S&P was flat, and oil was higher at around $65 a barrel. After the bell, Micron Technology, the nation's largest maker of computer memory chips, giving an upbeat forecast thanks to demand for its AI equipment. And they won't hit stores until Friday, but the Air Max Phenomena, a sneaker loafer mashup from Nike known as the Snowfer, is already seeing its resale prices top $500 a pair. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Tom Busby for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM. Eric Comfort Shoes, Long Island is...
Die if Sam was out. And after about a few days, the employees of the company basically mutinied and threatened to quit and go to Microsoft unless they brought Sam back. And so the board buckled and Sam was replaced and came back.
Why do you think these employees weren't as concerned about these deceptions? Were they too small for them to worry about and they needed to focus on the bigger picture of the fundraising and the other things that Altman brought to the company? Or what do you think was their thinking? I mean, clearly there were people having issues with him, right? So why was there that level of confusion?
Well, they had no idea. At the time, I think a big part of the reason why the firing was reversed was that the board, when they fired him, they just said Sam was not consistently candid with the board, which is, polite way of saying he lied to the board. But they never said about what. And so for a really long time, no one really knew about what. And then part of what, I tried to uncover in this book was, well, what did he lie about? And so the people in the company really didn't know what the board's reasons were. They just knew that the board wasn't saying, and they wouldn't answer their questions about why. And that was a huge part of sort of the pushback.
Another person who's questioned Sam Altman's credibility is Elon Musk, and there's some, that's some big public nasty questioning that's gone on. Now, these two co-founded OpenAI together. Musk gave a lot of money for this company to go forward, but in 2023, we heard Elon Musk talking about his new feelings about Sam Altman, and he was particularly concerned about what was happening at OpenAI as it attempted to go for-profit or partly for-profit and non-profit. This is what he said to CNBC in 2023.
It does seem weird that something can be a non-profit, open source, and somehow transform itself.
Good evening, I'm Mario Boscus. On Staten Island, everyone loves Lucy, except apparently the Department of Health.
She's 15 years old, but still full of life, and loved by everyone who meets her.
Well, we'll bring her on the stoop and we'll get out dressed up like a witch. If I was sitting next to Derek Jeter, they wouldn't even notice him. That's how popular the pig is.
Lucy is a devoted house pig that's become a Staten Islander over the years. Lori Ann and Michael Ganone, also known as I'm a pig mom,
And I'm a pig dad.
says Lucy is ill and what could be in her final months alive. The Department of Health is threatening to take her away from their family.
Got letters from doctors that he's allowed to have an emotional support pig.
The Ganones are pleading with the city. They've even started a GoFundMe and a Change.com petition, which has received thousands of signatures. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 Wings on 9... Toddville, Staten Island.
Lucy's family does say they have a second residence upstate where it's legal for Lucy to live. However, that property currently under renovation, which is why Lucy is with them on Staten Island. According to the official New York City website, it's currently illegal to have a pig, Lucy or not, for a pet within the 5 boroughs. With USM 831 traffic and transit now with Kelly Dillon.
Emergency roadwork in Jersey, southbound 287 right past exit 52 for Route 23 in Riverdale. The 2 left lanes are out. Traffic here is at a standstill, so do skip that spot. In Midtown, slow on the northbound FDR into the 70s. A broken down car stuck in the right lane. Backing up traffic into the 40s. The West Side Highway, that's moving a bit better. The eastbound Bell Parkway now some new trouble in Queens. At Rockaway Parkway, there's a crash now knocking out 1 lane here. Traffic quickly backing up. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Heading to the outbound George, about a half-hour wait from every approach right now. Inbound tonight, they're letting tonight's oversized vehicle to cross the upper deck stand. So the next few minutes, lower level is better. Broken down bus at the Lincoln on the Jersey side on the outbound Helix, left lane out. Both ways, about a 20-minute backup. The outbound Holland, about 30 minutes still. This report sponsored by Natural Heaven Deliciously Smart Foods. Love pasta and rice, but hate carbs? Natural Heaven makes pasta, rice, mac and cheese, and ready meals from hearts of